today in this video we are going to discuss about the physical divisions of our country. So there are mainly 6 physical divisions of our country. They are the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the coastal plains and the islands of our country. So in this video we shall discuss about the northern Himalayan mountains. So first let us know how the Himalayan mountains were formed. So according to the plate tectonics theory, the Indian plate was first the part of the Gondwana land. But after the Indian plate traveled across the ocean and it joined with the Eurasian plate, the collision between the Eurasian and the Indian plate led to the formation of the Himalayan mountains in the northwest, north and northeast side of our country. So now let us see in detail about the divisions of the Himalayan mountains. So Himalayas are divided from west to east by 5 longitudinal parallel ranges. They are the Shivalik range, the lesser or Himachal Himalayas, Himadri, the Tethys or Tibetan Himalayas and the Trans Himalayas. So we are going to see about each range in detail. So first let us see about the Shivalik or the outer Himalayas. So the Shivaliks or the outer Himalayas, they are this one. So this is the Shivalik range. This is the Shivalik range. So the Shivalik range is 10 to 50 kilometers wide. It is 10 to 50 kilometers wide and it has an average elevation of 950 to 1100 meters. 950 to 1100 meters. The Shivalik range. So after the Shivalik range comes the Himachal Himalayas. So the longitudinal valley, this longitudinal valley between Shivalik and the Himachal Himalayas is known as dunes. So we have many dunes. For example, we have in Uttarakhand the Dehradun. We have Dehradun. And for other examples we can take as Kotli Dun and Patli Dun. After this comes the Himachal Himalayas. So here Himachal Himalayas, they are also called as lesser or lower Himalayas. So the Himachal Himalayas have an average elevation of 3700 to 4500 meters. Then they have a width of 50 kilometers. And the Himachal Himalayas are not continuous, means they are divided, means they have sub-ranges. So and the Himachal Himalayas have the longest sub-range of India, and the longest sub-range of Himachal Himalayas is Mahabharat range. This one lies completely in Nepal. Mahabharat range. Here is the Pir Panjal range and here is the Dhauladhar range, and this whole group, these are the Himachal Himalayas. These are the Himachal Himalayas. So first let us see about the Pir Panjal range. So the Pir Panjal range has an average elevation of 1400 to 4100 meters. And the highest peak of the Pir Panjal range are Dev Tibba and Indrasan. Now the Dhauladhar range. The Dhauladhar range is the main branch of the outer Himalayan range. The Dhauladhar range has many high peaks, and the highest peak of Dhauladhar range is the Hanumanji Ka Tibba, which has an elevation of 5639 meters. After this comes the Mahabharat range. This Mahabharat range lies completely in Nepal. Now next we'll move on to the main Himalayan range or the Himadri. This one. This is the main Himalayan range. So this main Himalayan range, it is known for its loftiest and continuous mountains present in it. This range is the most continuous Himalayan range. Although we say that it is a continuous range, many Himalayan rivers cut through this and make some deep gorges in it and form valleys in it. So the Himalayan the average elevation of the Himadri is 6000 meters, and many peaks in the Himadri rise up to the height of 8000 meters. Now let us look at some of the main peaks that are located in this Himadri. So first, this in the Himadri we have the Mount Everest, which is in Nepal. It has an Mount Everest. Its height is 8,849 meters. This is the tallest peak of the world, and in the same range lies the second highest peak of the world, that is the Kanchenjunga. Sorry, it is the third highest peak of the world, Kanchenjunga. This is the third highest peak of the world, and the second is the K2, which lies in the Karakoram range. Then we have Nanda Devi Parvat. Nanda Devi, which has a height of 7,817 meters. Then we have the Dhaulagiri. This Dhaulagiri has a height of 8,167 meters. Then we have the Annapurna Parvat. It is 8,091 meters. Then in the Himachal Himalayas, that is the lesser or lower Himalayas, we have the Makalu mountain. Here is the mountain Makalu. It has a height of 8,485 meters. Or the lesser Himalayas, that is the Himachal Himalayas. Here is the Kamet. It is 7,756 meters. Now we have seen that the Himadri is continuous, but many rivers have cut through it and found valleys. Such same has happened in the Pir Panjal range, and because of these there are three prominent valleys in the Pir Panjal range. So let us look at that valleys. The first one in the valley of the Pir Panjal range is the Kashmir Valley. Kashmir Valley. Then we have the Kulu Valley. Here is the Kulu Valley, and then we have Kangra Valley. So these are the three valleys. Then we shall move towards the next parallel longitudinal range, that is the fourth range, that is the Tethys or the Tibetan Himalayas. Tethys or Tibetan Himalayas. Okay, so the most part of the Tethys Himalayas has been covered by the Jaskar range. The Jaskar range lies in the northern part of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. So this Jaskar range lies behind Himadri, and it separates Jaskar from Ladakh. Now we are going to towards the fifth range. That is the Trans-Himalayan range. So these are the three sub-ranges of the Trans-Himalayan range. So this Trans-Himalayan range is 40 km wide and 965 km long. These all three sub-ranges are the Trans-Himalayan ranges. It is 40 km long and 40 km wide and 965 km long. Yes. And then the sub range of the Trans-Himalayan range is the Karakoram range. This one. This is the Karakoram range. This Karakoram range runs for the distance of 50 kilometers. It is famous for the high concentration of tall peaks. So it has the second largest peak, which we have discussed earlier, that the first longest peak is the Mount Everest, 8,849. Second is the K2, K2, which has a height of 8,611 meters. K2, 8,611 meters. And third that we have discussed already is Kanchenjunga with a height of 8,598 meters. Now the second sub-range of the Trans-Himalayan range is the Kailash range. This one. This Kailash range lies completely outside India. Kailash range is popular for the main tourist attractions, that is the Kailash Parbat and the Mansarovar Lake. It is main tourist attraction for pilgrims. Mansarovar and Kailash Parbat. The Kailash range is also very important because it is the origination place of the two important perennial rivers of India, that is the river Indus and river Brahmaputra. This from here. From here we have the river Indus. This one is river Indus, and from here only we have the same. This is river Brahmaputra. River Indus and river Brahmaputra. So it is Kailash range is very important for our country. So after the Kailash range comes the Ladakh range. This is the Ladakh range. So Ladakh range is located between the Jaskar range and the Karakoram range. The Ladakh range is popular because it has the India's only cold desert. This one. This is the only cold desert of India. As we discussed that we only know that deserts are only the place which are hot and humid, but this is not true. Deserts are the place which receive low rainfall, low precipitation. So Ladakh range or Ladakh region, this is also a region which has low precipitation. That is why it is known as cold desert. It extends from Siachen, it extends from Leh to Himachal Pradesh. Then in the Karakoram range we have the Siachen Glacier. We have the Siachen Glacier. This Siachen Glacier is the second longest glacier outside the polar region. And this Karakoram range is also the highest battlefield in the world. Now we shall discuss about the regional divisions of the Himalayan mountains. So on the basis of the region, the Himalayan mountains are divided into three categories: the Western Himalayas, the Central Himalayas, and the Eastern Himalayas. First, the Western Himalayas. So Western Himalayas are extend between river Indus here to river Kali. River Indus to river Kali. They run along the Nepal border. River Indus to river Kali. And then we have the Central Himalayas that run from river Kali to here. River Tista. This one. This river Tista further joins Brahmaputra, which comes from the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Then the Eastern Himalayas, which is located between river Tista and river Brahmaputra. The Eastern Himalayas is popular or is well known because it has the two famous road passes to the Tibetan capital of Lhasa. That is the first road pass, that is the Jalipla, and this one in the Arunachal Pradesh. This is the Bomla. These are the two road passes, Jalipla and Bomla. Now we have seen the parallel longitudinal ranges, but when the Himalayas end in India, they bend toward the southwards. As we have seen that here they run from north to south, west to east, but they bend here and they run from north to south direction. And here they have a different name. Let's see that one. So here when the Himalayas bend, they go in such a way. Here the Himalayas bend and they go, and these hills are called the Purvanchal hills because they are in the east side, Purva side of our country. So these Purvanchal ranges run through the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. So according to that, they are called as Patkoi hills in Arunachal Pradesh, Naga hills in Nagaland, Manipur hills in Manipur, and Lushai or Mizo hills in Mizoram. And the highest peak of the Purvanchal ranges is the Saramati peak, which is in the which is located in the Nagaland ranges. Saramati peak. This Saramati peak has a height of 3,826 meters. After this, the mountains again bend and go in Assam. In Assam, they are called as the Barail Hills. Here, they are the Barail Hills. After this, they bent again, and they in the Meghalaya they form three different hillocks or hill ranges. These three hillocks. They are the Jayantiya, Khasi, and Gharu. So this is all about the Himalayan mountain. At last, thanks for watching.